All right, let's talk about Greek wine. When you hear Greece, you're probably thinking ancient history, right? But what's happening with its wine is something else entirely. It's this incredible modern reinvention. We're going to dive into why one of the oldest wine cultures on the planet is also, weirdly enough, one of its newest.
This quote right here, it basically says it all. It sounds like a riddle, doesn't it? How can you be both the oldest and the newest? Well, that paradox is exactly why Greece is one of the most exciting places for wine in the world right now. It's a massive story of rediscovery.
And this timeline just puts it all into perspective. I mean, look at this. We've got winemaking evidence from 4500 BC. That's wild. Then you've got the whole culture around Dionysus, but then it all just kind of stops. For hundreds of years under Ottoman rule, winemaking just existed. It wasn't really a thing. And then, bam, jump all the way to 1971. That's when the modern, quality-focused era really kicks off. That's the new part of this very, very old story.
Okay, let's start our journey. We're heading up to the cool, mountainous north of Greece, to a region called Macedonia. And this is where we meet a red grape that has the entire wine world buzzing right now, Xinomavro.
So, that name, Xinomavro, it literally translates to acid black. Now, the funny thing is, the black part is a bit of a head-scratcher because the wines are usually a pale red color. But that acid part? Oh yeah, they absolutely nailed that. This grape is all about structure, with tons of acidity and tannin. And this is what makes Xinomavro just so cool. You've got that high-acid, high-tannin backbone, kind of like a famous Italian Nebbiolo. But the real magic is in all those savory notes. Sun-dried tomato, oregano, even olives. I mean, come on, it's like the Greek landscape bottled up. These are definitely not your simple fruity wines. They're complex, they can age forever, and they get these amazing earthy, leathery notes over time.
Okay, so from the powerful north, let's travel south down to the Peloponnese Peninsula, to the famous Nemea region. Here, we're going to meet Greece's most widely planted red grape, Agiorgitiko, and this one is a total chameleon.
So you're probably asking, how can one single grape be so versatile? Well, the secret is pretty simple, and it's all about altitude. Where you plant the vines, whether it's down in the hot valleys or way up on the cool mountaintops, completely changes the wine. It's like giving winemakers a whole different set of colors to paint with.
And this chart just breaks it down perfectly. See, down on the lower slopes, it's warmer, so you get these jammy, fruity wines that are perfect to just pop open and enjoy. Now climb way up to the highest slopes. It's cooler up there, which keeps the acidity high, making it perfect for fresh, crisp rosés. But right there in the middle, that's the sweet spot. That's where the magic happens, and where you find those really balanced, complex reds that are built to last.
For our final stop, we are island hopping, and we're going to the big one, the iconic, windswept island of Santorini. This volcanic paradise isn't just stunning to look at. It's home to Greece's superstar white grape, the one and only Assyrtiko.
But here's the thing about growing grapes on Santorini. It is not easy. The conditions are seriously harsh, and the biggest problem? The wind. We're talking about constant, powerful winds that are strong enough to literally shred a vineyard to pieces if it's not protected.
So, what do? Well, centuries ago, they came up with this, the Koulo Lora, and it is absolutely brilliant. They literally weave the vines into these low, sprawling baskets. The grapes then grow on the inside, totally shielded from the wind and the intense sun. It's just a beautiful, ancient solution to a really tough problem.
And the wine that comes from these crazy vines is a complete paradox. It's full-bodied, it's high in alcohol, but at the same time it has this incredibly high racing acidity that makes it so refreshing. And then you throw in that signature smoky, flinty minerality that you can only get from volcanic soils. It's a white wine that's both powerful and zesty at the same time. There's really nothing else like it. But wait, there's more. Assyrtiko is amazing. But the island is also famous for another wine, a legendary sweet wine called Vinsanto, and this style has been made on Santorini for centuries. So how do they do it? The process is so simple and so ancient. They leave the grapes on the vine to get extra ripe, then they lay them out to dry under the sun for a couple of weeks. This basically turns them into wine raisins and concentrates all the sugar and flavor. After it's made, the wine ages in old oak barrels, where it gets all these incredible caramel, nutty, and coffee notes, all held together by that amazing acidity.
So, after our little tour of Greece, what's the takeaway? How do you actually find these wines? Let's break it down into a super simple guide for your next trip to the wine shop. Here it is, your cheat sheet. If you love those savory, structured Italian reds like Barolo, you've got to find a bottle of Xinomavro. If you want a smooth red that can be anything from easy drinking and fruity to seriously complex, Agiorgitiko is your grape. And if you're a fan of mineral-driven white wines like Sancerre, but you want something with a bit more power and texture, well, Santorini Assyrtiko is an absolute must-try.
And you know, here's the most exciting part. We've only talked about 3 grapes today. 3! But Greece has over 200 native grape varieties. Let that sink in. 200. It is a massive treasure trove of unique flavors that are just waiting to be discovered. What we've covered today is really just scratching the surface.
So, there you have it. A country with a wine legacy that's thousands of years in the making, but a modern scene that is exploding with energy right now. From the savory reds in the north to the volcanic whites of the islands, there is a whole world to discover. So, I guess there's really only one question left to ask. Which Greek grape will you try next?